Hello everyone, this is Bazooka. Welcome to one of my videos and welcome to... I still don't know what to call this. I probably won't call it Random Ramblings, but in any case, finally after quite a bit of time, I'm going to make the backscatter analysis video. So, first off, we all know the stats by now, hopefully. Its ability to mini crit from behind and at a close enough distance. Whereas it cannot get random crits, it has 20% less accuracy and has 2 less shots, meaning it only has 4 shots in its clip. So let's talk about its upsides. Its upsides, obviously, you can mini crit people from behind, and since there's no damage reduction, it does the normal amount of damage a scattergun would do. It does around, 190-ish, somewhere up there, when you get a full meat shot on someone. And then, when you mini-crit people, you get around 140 damage from behind. And that's really powerful. That one-shot's a lot. That one-shot's quite a few classes and puts a few other classes into a quite noticeable danger zone, because unless they've already taken damage, in which case, then they're already dead. If you get that mini crit on them. So it's a pretty good upside, I think. However, the downsides are a little bit debilitating, if you ask me. The less accuracy, it's well, okay. There's one clip in this entire thing. I'm not watching the video right now, but there's one clip where there's a scout sitting in a corner. I fire at him 3 times, I get 9 damage, 10 damage, and then finally on the 3rd shot, I get 71. I felt like, at least on the 2nd shot, I should have gotten a decent body shot, but I didn't. And I'm going to attribute that to the decreased accuracy, the 20% less accuracy, because a normal scattergun probably would have done that scout in, and just like, it would have been fine, but no, I apparently missed essentially 2 of those shots, and I could not take out the scout. So that was one of the problems. The other problem is obviously the decreased clip size, and that's a lot more frightening. Let's say, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's quite frightening when you only have 4 shots and you're trying to take down a very important character like a medic or a demo man or a heavy, and you only have 4 shots. If you miss like 2 of those shots, 3 of those shots, you only have 1 shot left, and you gotta make it count. Even then, you might not even kill the person that you're trying to go after, so you have to back off or rely on your other weapons, and well, the scattergun is really, really powerful, so you might as well just back off, reload, and try again a little bit later. But yeah, that's kind of a problem that I feel that the backscatter has. Its decreased accuracy is a pretty big deal, and its decreased clip size is also a pretty big deal, because you gotta make shots really count. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, well, there you go. You just you wasted all your primary ammo. You're probably gonna die because you're now facing them head on. Of course, one of the biggest parts where the backscatter shines is when you get someone off guard, or they're currently not focusing on you, so you can manage to get behind them and mini crit them, essentially killing them outright. Unless they're a heavy, or unless they're overhealed, you can pretty much just 2-shot them. But that brings up the point of, well, the scatter gun can basically 2-shot every class unless they're overhealed. So what's the point? That's a very good point. I'm not sure if I can refute that, but I mean, mini crits are very powerful, so you really can't just kind of laugh it off like, oh, it's just mini crits. Mini crits are powerful. Soda Popper proved that. It's very powerful. But in most situations where I played this on, granted I only played this on King of the Hill maps, but most situations, it probably would have been better if I just used normal scattergun. There's only a very few instances where I get full damage back shots against people. You know, 140, 141 damage against people. I only did that like maybe once or twice and throughout this entire gameplay that I got. So it's very questionable whether or not it's worth using. Definitely on attack and defend maps, I can definitely see people using it, using the bonk, getting back to someone like the other team spawn, and then when they spawn out and get out of the gate, they can just go up behind them, shoot them a couple times, and kill them. So it's a good balance, I would say. I'm not entirely sure, but personally, I would probably just stick with the normal scattergun. However, I am trying to make this work with a few other weapons. Throughout the gameplay, you'll notice that I haven't really been using a lot of my other weapons because I'm just not used to it as a scout. But one secondary item that I think might work out decently, I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out if this is good or not, but the Mad Milk. The Mad Milk is okay because not only is it a good utility item for putting out people, of course, when they're on fire, but let's just say you have to face people head on. There's no other way to encounter a various, like, one or two people. You just throw Mad Milk on them, and then you might be able to survive a bit longer because what little damage that you can do might be able to help you survive the battle long enough so you can actually get a decent meat shot on them. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot to say one thing about the decreased accuracy. It can be a good thing. Surprisingly, the thing with the Babyface Blaster before it got buffed, the increased accuracy on the Babyface Blaster was actually kind of bad because you had to be really, really spot on with your shots. Of course, it made, like, if you were, you know, if you had good aiming, you could get a ton of damage. It was great in mid-range, but it was like, really, if you were up close and you were just like a few whatever pixels off, if you aim just slightly over, you might get like half the damage you normally would. The opposite is kind of true for the backscatter because it's less accuracy means that sometimes you can get a few extra hits on someone when normally you shouldn't. And that's not to say that you'll be doing like extraordinary amounts of damage against people when they're like mid-screen, like, you know, mid-range, but I mean, you can get in like a few extra points of damage that may or may not do them in, and that's, while it's not, you know, great, it's not bad. You can get some extra hits. Yep, it's bad. So moving on with the other items that I think might work well with it is, I'm trying to do my healthy scout set that I had back when the soda popper was still based around mini crits, which is the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol and the candy cane. So that way, the backscatter is decent burst damage. Not as good as the soda popper was, but if you can catch them from behind and get like two shots that mini crits them, and then you know, whatever, a decent meat shot against them after they turn around and face you, then you can probably get, you can do quite a bit of damage. So wow, lots of screwing up my words, but being able to heal yourself after an encounter. There we go. Jeez, can't talk. You'll be able to heal yourself a little bit, and then you'll be able to go on your merry way. And yeah, the only problem is, like, with that, you have two major weaknesses now: fire and explosions. But I mean, you're a scout. You should be able to, you know, relatively not encounter such things. A pyro may be able to sneak up on you once in a while, but normally, if you sneak up on the pyro, you'll be able to outright kill him and not even worry about the fire damage to begin with. But this really emphasizes on not facing people head on. Another item that I tried using is the Sandman. Sandman, I think, might be pretty good, even though it still allows them to move around unless you get the full moonshot range hit with the baseball. Still, being able to slow people down and stun them is pretty good. It allows you to close in on them and get a few extra meat shots. Maybe if maybe if there's someone else that they're focusing on, you stun them and then you can get a free mini crit shot on their back. But that's that. The main thing that I think works best with the backscatter is probably just a normal pistol. Yeah. Normal pistol, maybe the atomizer. A reason why I say normal pistol is because it gives you 12 shots and it has, 36 ammo. It gives you 12 shots and it's more accurate, so it allows you to finish people off when you fail to kill them with the initial 1 or 2 back shots that you get. So you'll be able to, 1, 2, oh, they're not dead, back off, pull out your pistol, start shooting them, and then maybe you'll kill them. The atomizer is also pretty decent because mobility is a huge deal with the backscatter. You need to be able to get behind people completely. So being able to jump over someone or, an extra time to really confuse them, like make them look like, okay, where's the scout going? So having a third jump, even if it deals 10 damage to yourself, having a third jump is potentially very, very important, so that way you can get behind them and really confuse them, and then just outright, bam, you're dead, bam, you're dead. So yeah, there's that. Speaking of mobility, like I said a little bit earlier, bonk for attack and defense, maps, so on and so forth, 5 CP, being able to use bonk and just run past people. Most people will probably just ignore you at that point because, like, oh, it's a bonk scout, can't do anything about it, whatever, just let them be, we'll finish them off later. A good example is the backscatter video that Germa made, where at the end of the video, he literally saw a sniper coming his way with the kukri out, or the bushwhack, I can't remember which melee, but the sniper was running at him, and he was like, oh man, guy used the Invisawatch. He drinks the bonk, and then the sniper does a complete 180 the other direction. It's just like, it's really, the bonk really makes people not care about you. When you fully activate it all the way, it really makes people not care at all about you, so you can just go about, do your business, go to places where normally you shouldn't. So, yeah. About the other weapons, the winger might be okay because it gives you higher jump, and it increases the amount of damage the pistol does. I'm not entirely sure, though, because it gives you less shots in the clip, and yet I feel like more shots in the clip is better, so that way you don't have to waste time reloading. Other melee weapons, I am not entirely sure. Maybe the Rap Assassin's okay. Oh yes, the Criticola I feel like is a little bit redundant when you're trying to get many crits anyway. It might be useful because you'll be able to move a little bit faster than normal, but otherwise I don't quite see the point to using the Criticola when you're already using a weapon that has mini crits. But still, it can be decently useful. You get mini crits all the time while the Criticola is active, but I feel like if you're using the backscatter with the Criticola, you might as well just use the normal scattergun with the Criticola, or use a pistol if you're using the backscatter. I don't know. Personal preference. I'm not one to judge, but there you go. So, that is my general analysis on the backscatter. Since I'm not really like the biggest competitive dude, there might be something that I'm completely missing about the backscatter. But let me know. Let me know if I missed anything really, really major about it, and maybe I'll do an addendum. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I might do like an extra video that I'll tack onto this. And yeah, so leave a comment if you think I missed something out. I'm pretty sure I already said that. So, I thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Next time is going to be the airstrike for the soldier. Oh, yes. Have a great day and a good night. Bye.